Shady V after dark, where every story leaves its spark. Laugh a little, stay a while. Every episode has its own style. Late night energy, lighten up the night. Shady V after dark. Everything feels just right. Turn it up, lock the door. You never know what's waiting in store. Every laugh, every spark. Welcome to Shady V after dark.
Welcome to Shady V After Dark, the place where the filters come off and the conversations usually start with, "Don't judge me, but..." This is the late night edition of the show where episodes contain strong language and opinions that might make you laugh or cringe. This podcast is intended for adult audiences and may include discussions about relationships, personal experiences, language, or other mature themes. Listener discretion is advised. So dim the lights, settle in, and join us for honest conversations, bold perspectives, and a few surprises along the way. This is Shady V After Dark. Let's get into it. Hey, y'all. Today we're continuing our conversation with Jovita Valley. We're going to be diving into something many people are curious about, but may feel uncomfortable asking questions about. That's the Intimacy Toolbox. We're going to be talking about bath and body products, enhancements, lubricants, intimacy toys for women, men, and couples, as well as products designed for comfort, exploration, and connection. Let's help people understand what's available and how these tools can support a healthier, more confident, intimate life. Welcome back, Jovita.
Hi there. Thank you again for having me. We're back again today and talk to you about the fun stuff. And for those of you who don't know or haven't listened prior, I have been in the sexual wellness industry for 21 years. So seen lots of things, fun things, topics, conversations. So I'm ready to dive in.
20 plus years, you've done some research and might know a little bit about something on this topic, right?
Just a little bit. Yes, ma'am.
So, Jovita, let's start with the bath and body products that you offer. So, I guess basically we're going to talk about why intimacy starts before the bedroom. I know lots of people think intimacy starts in the bedroom, but I've heard you often say that it starts much earlier than that. What do you mean by that?
Yes, and thank you for that. I'm glad we are covering this because this is where it starts. Women, first of all, self-care is not selfish, and you need to start with that because you have got to create moments for yourself to relax so that you can reconnect. Women are disconnected from their bodies. They've got so much going on with the day, with the kids. And of course, you can't expect desire if you don't feel good in your own skin when you start your day, first of all. So I always say bath and body isn't an extra thing. It's foundational. It's self-care and it's a necessity.
That makes a lot of sense. Like you said, if you're not feeling good about yourself, you're not going to feel sexy. And I know in one of the last segments, I joked about scheduling intimacy. I'm like, great, perfect. If I'm scheduling it, then I know I have to shave my legs and anything else. So it does start much earlier than the bedroom. You mentioned life and how life can impact things. How exactly can stress and daily responsibilities and the feeling of being disconnected from yourself actually impact our desire?
That's such a great question because, stress, the daily stress, whatever you have going on, whether it's work related, family related, maybe both, it shuts down the nervous system when you are stressed out and your body is reacting in survival mode. So desire at that point, that's the first thing to disappear, first thing to go. So that's how that can impact that.
I always thought it was just my patience that went first, but no, I guess it's the desire. What role can sensory experiences like bath and body products play? Like how does that help? How does that help us reconnect with ourselves?
Well, first of all, when you're putting, a luxurious, not even luxurious, just even a moisturizer, a lotion on your body. I have amazing bath and body set that is brand new on my site, and I'm very excited about it because number one, it covers all the different areas of what you want. If you need a shower gel, if you need a body lotion, if you need a body oil to help moisturize your skin, if you need body butter for more intense moisturization, it basically, like I said, all these different pieces can basically apply to what you're looking for. And it's hemp seed. So that means, and it's not THC when I say hemp seed, that means it has better ingredients for your body. Hemp seed oil is very nourishing. It conditions and softens your skin. Has chamomile, hydrolyzed wheat protein, and dandelion. So you've got these ingredients that are helping you relax, creating a sensory moment for yourself. So it's just getting back into your body and again, feeling good, because you're going to feel good on the exterior so you can start to feel sexy and apply the other important products we're going to talk about, to get the
Yes.
libido part going. So
Yes, I'm ready for that. I can't wait to jump into that one. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm interested in trying some of those products. I know it's been a while since I've actually used any of the bath and body products from a sensual line or from a sexual wellness line. It was Pure Romance was the last stuff I used. So I'm looking forward to making purchases from you and using the more natural, like you said, with the hemp seeds.
you got it.
Well, let's jump into the next topic or the next batch of questions. After the bath and body, the next part of self-care is enhancements. So supporting your body, not replacing it, right? Enhancement, that's exactly what it means.
Right.
There can be a lot of misunderstandings about enhancement products. What do you want your customers, or what do you want people to know?
Yes. First of all, there's still women out there that don't know what an enhancement is. And when they do find out what it is, they're questioning themselves. Well, do I really need this? But then again, what is it? And when they read a little bit more about it or find out, it's understanding that they're not crutches, they're amplifiers. So it's going to help support responsiveness, and it helps remove that performance pressure because you need to have better sensation and less overthinking when you're in the moment. So that way you can enjoy more pleasure. And that way you're basically helping your body bring you back to how you used to be.
Okay. What was that you said again? It's not a crutch. They're
amplifiers. And I
like
call them wellness tools too. Another way to look at that.
And I like that saying because in the previous segments, we've been talking about how we're not broken, we're evolving. Right. So it's not a crutch, it's an amplifier. I like that. Do these products replace natural intimacy, or do they actually support the experience?
They actually reduce the pressure that you're feeling upon yourself, because if you have the proper products and wellness tools, again, amplifiers, such as the pleasure serum, that is an amazing product and one of my personal favorites, because L-arginine is what is going to be a key ingredient that is contained in that, and it helps increase the blood flow. So that's important. When you increase the blood flow, bring that back to the clitoris, that's over 10,000 nerve endings, then you're going to feel more sensation. You're getting aroused and getting in the mood, and that's what's going to help move the needle on that. So again, feeling more like yourself again, to where you can it increases your confidence when you're going into the bedroom. So, or wherever you may be to have a fun time.
Which then amplifies the O's.
That's right. And one other thing I wanted to mention, lubricant, and I know we're going to get into that, but your lubrication is also a must with that enhancement. So I know
Okay.
we'll get more into that a little bit later, but yes.
Okay. Great. So, last question on the enhancements for you, ma'am. Who would benefit from exploring enhancement products?
Yes, this is any woman that's dealing with stress or hormonal changes or basically just feeling disconnected from their body. If they feel like they're not producing as much lubrication that they used to, they're starting to get more vaginal dryness. You've got to take care of that. And because you're applying enhancement, doesn't mean you're broken or anything's wrong with you. This is helping you as far as because your body, again, is evolving and changing.
So you mentioned the pleasure serum for the enhancement, and then you mentioned something about lubrication. Is that the same thing as like a personal moisturizer?
Yes. And thank you for bringing that up because that's exactly what I was going to say. What you will see now is it's either called lubricant or personal moisturizer or moisturizer, either
Okay.
or just lube.
Keep that out of the makeup bag so that you're not
That's
applying
right.
wrong
It's a different
moisturizer.
kind of moisturizer. Yes.
Well, so we just talked about the pleasure serum and the personal moisturizer. Let's go ahead and jump into the lubes now. So lubricants, like back in the day, I say back in the day, like when I was a teenager, way, way back in the day, or when I was a young adult. Sorry, not a teenager. When I was a young adult, we're not giving all the secrets out tonight. When I was a young adult, Astroglide, right? That was all, and that's all anybody knew was Astroglide. So
Mhm.
let's talk about lubricants and I mean, we need to know there's more than just Astroglide out there.
That's correct. And I'm going to say one thing about Astroglide. Oh my goodness. First of all, when it comes to lubricants, I always say never buy your lubricants where you buy your bread and your eggs because you don't know what type you're buying. It doesn't always mean it's pH balance. You might not have a great ingredient deck with something. And so, with that being said, you have to think about the fun buzzing items that you might want to associate and use with that. You don't want the wrong lube to destroy your toy. So
Okay.
that's another food for thought there that I wanted to mention. But I know right now we're talking about lube. Astroglide, yes, that's a lot of people are familiar with that. But when it comes to lubricants, there are all kinds.
Yeah.
There's water-based, there's hybrid lubes, there's silicone, there's a creamy lubricant. But again, that's definitely I know we'll dive into that a little bit more, but
Yeah.
some people don't even know there's that many type of lubricants out there.
Yeah. Who knew, right? So, because this can be an uncomfortable topic for many, right? Especially women our age, our bodies are changing. We might feel ashamed at the fact that we don't get as wet as we used to. So, the discussion of lubricants can be uncomfortable. Like I said, at our age, this is something that we're experiencing. So, why is this conversation so important for us to have?
Because women, as their bodies change, they're already trying to understand, why am I not feeling as wet as I used to? If
Mhm.
I use a lubricant, is there something wrong with me? Or is my partner going to think something of me? No. Basically, people associate it with something being wrong when in reality, it's completely normal. It really is. And you're smart by using lubricant for you and your partner because it's going to make intimacy more comfortable for both of you. And you're not risking tearing any of your vaginal tissue, your inner lining of your vagina. That's very important.
Right. We learned early in one of the early episodes that
Micro
um,
tears.
micro tears are not good. You mentioned a few minutes or just a couple of seconds ago, actually, the differences in the lubes that are out there now. How should we, or why is it important for us to understand what may work best for us?
Because first of all, you have to take a look at what's going on. If you have vaginal dryness, then, and this is for you to use and be comfortable during the day, then you want to look at a water-based moisturizer that you can put on,
Okay.
and then use. If you are, and I've got clients that are going through radiation chemotherapy, and they don't produce as much lubricant, so they have to use something like a hybrid lubricant, that is your silicone and your water based together. Or people that you want to use that, they can, because that depends on the type of play you want to do, and that's just talking about comfort. Now let's talk about, yes, the sexual intercourse aspect of it and advantages. With your partner, if you're wanting to change positions, and that is fun when you do, not just a regular, okay, let's do our usual, me on top or missionary, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just saying, if you want to change things up, then you want to think about the lubricant you're using for that. I would recommend a hybrid lubricant, because that is silicone and water based combined together, which is a beautiful lube, such as my Simply Timeless line that I have on my website there. And then also, or there's silicone. If you are wanting to do shower play, we're in the summertime, you got your own private pool top, not public pools, people. You've got your fun water play in your own private area. The Uber Lube is like our number one best rated silicone lubricant, because that's going to give you the slickness that you need. It's going to make it a lot easier. And then, unfortunately, there's some women that have discomfort and have some pain when they are experiencing intercourse, and that could be of different factors and reasons.
Mhm.
And my CBD, it's by Healy, is amazing. It's like a gel texture type of lube that you would apply first, as high as you want to go into the vaginal area where you're experiencing pain, and put it there first. Let
Okay.
it absorb for about 10, 15 minutes beforehand, and then you can apply your other lubricant you can with that. But basically, it depends. What is your goal? What do you want to achieve? And the last thing I wanted to mention, because we talk so much about menopause and it's so important, women that are dealing with the premenopause, current
Mhm.
menopause, postmenopause, they need a little bit more than just a water-based lubricant. I have an amazing line called the Simply Timeless line by Wicked, and it has squalene and olive leaf in it. And that's going to really help increase the moisture, and basically protect those tissues and bind the moisture better. That and the Euphoria water-based lube, because that has hyaluronic acid in it, and that is amazing. I mean, hey, we put that on our face, and it
Yeah.
helps give us soft, supple skin. Well, that's going to help you give more supple tissue down there and keep that moisture a lot longer. So that's important.
So, I was listening to you, and when you were talking about this CBD lubricant, you
Mhm.
said to apply it about 15 minutes before. Like, who knew there was a time frame when to, like, who knew? I always thought, hey, you apply the lube and let's go. We're ready.
Right. That particular one you have to, because you want, and it's going to be, and if you don't have a chance, okay, but that particular lube, it's going to benefit you, because you need that to absorb in the tissue a little bit more, because the purpose of that is to help relax the tissue
Okay.
more. So you will feel more comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other lubes, is there a time frame for the
No,
other?
no.
Okay. Okay. Just certain ones. Gotcha. All right, Jovita. So now those other three segments were fun and interesting, but now we're going to get into the good stuff, like the really fun stuff, the intimacy toys.
Can't
Um,
wait.
yes,
Excited.
yay, education. We're going to learn a little bit, exploration and connection. So, this is probably a category that people are most curious about. but
Yes.
at the same time, the most hesitant to talk about, right? Why is there still so much stigma when it comes to intimacy toys?
Because people were never educated, first of all, and they were taught to feel embarrassed about it instead of being curious. And
Mhm.
that's why having a ladies' night with your girlfriends, even if it's 4 or 5 of them with a glass, bottle of wine and, answering questions and showing some products again, and it doesn't have to just be the toys. It's, some toys, depending on what they'd like to see and understand and know more of, how it all comes together, the whole experience, the enhancements, the lubricants, and the toys, and massage toys. That's the whole thing is so that way they have a true understanding and understanding how important they really are.
I like how you said you started off with a handful of girlfriends with a glass of wine. You were like, "No, a bottle of wine."
So
That's
they
my
can
kind
split it, but hey, maybe 2 bottles of wine.
hey, that's my kind of party right there. This is such a good topic. I wish we could spend like just an entire hour on this segment alone. How do you explain the difference between a toy replacing intimacy, which I mean, I know men are hesitant about toys because they think they're being replaced, right? So, how would you explain the difference between toy replacing intimacy versus enhancing intimacy?
Great question, because yes, that's the one thing I definitely want to say, and I say at my parties, and I say when I have one-on-one with my clients and couples, my one-on-one discussions with them. Toys do not replace your partner. They enhance the experience. And when you are introducing a toy in the bedroom, it can be a massage wand and start off with that to where you can use it and together, or
Okay.
a clitoral toy where you can explore different areas of the body for different play and obviously different orgasm experiences. So when you basically you're introducing the toy, it's what I also do at my parties is I discuss that and help answer those questions and help ease that bridge of how do I do this, and that
Mhm.
way the woman is comfortable, the partner's comfortable, or the male's comfortable, or girl and girl, whichever, um, basically to where it will bring excitement for each partner and enhance that sexual experience. So some examples like a C ring. I have a product called Anello. It's an amazing C ring. And if you don't know what a C ring is, that is, people think that stands for cock ring, but it's not. It stands for constriction that they're putting on their penis. Okay, but it benefits you both. I have what's called a C Vibe by Euphoria, and that is an app controlled toy that you
Okay.
could insert inside of you, and it's very flexible that you can even wear when you've got a skirt on, or if you're on your partner's back and massaging them, you can have that on and you're getting some clitoral action and some
Okay.
G spot action at the same time. And then finally, a panty vibrator. Those toys, yes, I know you saw some, back in the day, there was the movie that came out with that with the Katherine Heigl, I think.
I
But
think
I
so.
laugh when I still see that because I'm like, oh my God, that is such old technology. And toys that I have now, oh my gosh, they're so much better, more secure in your panties, and you don't have to worry about a remote falling on the floor like that and rolling.
Well, you said it was app controlled, and I'm like, okay. We've
Mhm.
we've definitely evolved in, at least this industry has evolved,
Yes, we
and
have.
is keeping up with the times. If I am a woman having intimacy challenges, and I know it takes me a lot longer to reach that point to where I'm even ready, but I know one of your toys and your enhancements can help, but I don't want my partner to feel bad about themselves. So if I introduce this toy, how is this actually going to help us reconnect, or how's it going to help us stay connected?
So, first of all, when you do a routine sexual encounter and it's the same moves every time and the same routine, your brain starts to get bored. So you do want to change things up and you don't want your partner to get bored. So then having a discussion with them like, hey, I saw, a friend of a friend told me about, Adiva's Intimacy Boutique. I checked out her website and there's some fun products on there. What's your thoughts about, enhancing some of the massage? Your shoulders get really tense and sore. It's great to use. We can use that on each other and start with something like that, or something that, hey, I'd love to explore, and different erogenous zones that I'd love for us to explore with each other. So changing it up and introducing some products give you both a new an exciting experience that basically opens the door to exploring other things. And I have some examples for women, for men, and for couples that I can kind of, and basically broaden on the little discussion here on that.
Yeah, let's get into that. Let's start talking
Okay.
about what you have for us.
Okay, you got it. There's an awesome product called Deya, Deya, and that is an amazing product. It is not just a vibrator, but it is also a tool that has different components that you can put. It basically all comes together and you can take apart. What I mean by that is you have a toy that will give you just clitoral vibration if you want that stimulation. If you want to have a vibe that has G-spot and clitoral together, it gives you that. And if you want a toy that you can use to massage with, hit other areas for him, you can do that with that toy. So whether you're single as a Pringle, as I say, or you're in a relationship, it's a very fun, versatile toy that you can use either by yourself playing solo or with your partner, because it's really going to help you as a woman learn more about your body. And when you know those different erogenous zones and exploring on your own and knowing those areas, that confidence is huge, because that's going to help you communicate and translate directly, basically, to your partner. You like to do a little more here or there of these certain areas. So hitting all the right spots, I will say.
Okay, Deya.
Deya, Deya. It is amazing. Yes. And obviously I don't want to say obvious. A lot of the toys now, and actually I'm sitting here thinking about it. No, there's not any battery operated toys I sell. Everything's USB. USB, baby. That is the way to go.
Then you don't have to worry about going and stealing batteries from the
That's
remote
right.
in the middle of the night.
Better longevity, yes. Better power. Yeah, toys have definitely evolved a lot, and the materials are so much nicer and softer now too. So, but I do have the men's. So, men, they have their own challenges. If there is an ED that is occurring, or they have, if they're single as a Pringle and they want to have their own play, then there is, first of all, enhancements real quick, like to help with the erection. Toro, Touro, triple XL. It's an erection enhancer cream. That is an amazing enhancement. So it's going to give him more confidence, to where it's going to help with the erection prolong longer, and to where he is harder longer, and obviously as sustaining longer. So that's important. We discussed this on another episode, and penis sleeves, what we call extenders, are huge, because that helps men that may not, because of maybe different challenges, whether it is medication, diabetes, things like that, where to the erection may not be staying as long, or they want more girth. That helps increase the girth and a little more length for her. There's also what we call Witty, which is a fun It's actually an anal toy and a prostate massager. So that helps for both areas for him. And then
Okay.
finally, we have what's called the hawk tuah. You know that gal?
Yes.
Tuah,
Yes.
how you say it?
Wait. Yes. Yes.
So believe it or not, there is that product that is basically a penis sleeve massager toy that really does some major massaging stroking for him, if you know what I mean. That's going to basically help reduce performance pressure, rebuild confidence with any of these toys, just as an example. And then finally, for couples, um, as I mentioned, you have the C rings, you have the massage wands, you have the clitoral toys you can use in different areas. There's even, toys that I have. One's called the Twilight Mood. That's amazing, to where you can use it together. She puts it inside of her and he can follow. And even with the C Vibe, the one I mentioned, that's an app control. So she's feeling him, clitoral, and G spot. It's a party, baby, for everybody.
That
So
sounds like a good time.
it's a good time. So you've got all those different options. And the bottom line is it's turning intimacy into something shared together, a new way that you're connecting instead of just something expected. So something
Right.
to spice it up.
I still can't get over the fact that some inebriated female walking down the streets that was
I
interviewed
know.
on social media now has a product named after, well, not named after her, but
The company was like, we like that name, and I guess they decided, hey, we're going to go ahead and just slap that on there with her permission, and she's getting all the monies from that. But it really is. I know we laugh about, but it really is a fun, great product.
do I?
I thought you'd get a good laugh out of that one.
Yes. Oh my goodness, that's funny. All right, so that was for women and men, and I know you've got a few other products that are for, I guess, for couples.
Yeah, as I mentioned, like the Twilight Mood, for example, that's a great one. And the C Vibe that I
Mhm.
mentioned that was app controlled, that's great for couples because he can also go inside at the same time. You can use it together. And with the Twilight Mood and the C Vibe, it's so flexible. A woman can even put that on her throat, and it gives her throat a vibration sensation. So when she is giving her oral presentation, he will feel that vibration as well. So
I,
it's also a fun way to where it is, again, use that or tickle the taint area with that toy while she's doing the oral presentation, aka BJ. So again, fun ways you can use that. And because that's the thing, you're changing it up. He's getting some different types of pleasure sensations out of it. He's going to be the next time, hey, honey, get that toy out of the drawer again. Let's go.
and that's when you're like, oh, you mean the one that you were afraid to use? Now
Exactly. Right. I can't tell you how many clients that like come back to me and they're like, after they tell their husband about it, and I can't even say I'm so excited. They're just like, oh my gosh, it just changed everything about
yeah.
us in the bedroom. He's so ecstatic. He wants to use it again and again. And he's asking, when are you going to the next party?
Does Jovita have any new products we need to try?
Exactly. That too. Right. Get on that new product launch list. Exactly.
Yes. Yes. Well, so we just talked about a topic that some people might find taboo or are hesitant to talk about. This next one is really a difficult topic for people to discuss. But it's so important. It's so important. Everyone has either thought about it, whether yes or no, have shown, I mean, you're interested or curious about it, but oh gosh, it's taboo. We can't do that. We can't do that. So now let's remove some of that fear and educate our listeners on this next topic of anal wellness. Um, so again, there's a lot of curiosity about anal play, a lot of misinformation out there. What do people need to understand first?
Thank you so much for letting us discuss this one. This is really, really important. And because education and communication comes first, always. And this is where misinformation seems to cause the most fear in this particular topic. So, this is something that takes more care and patience. And that's basically why it makes it special between the couples, because you have to have a discussion around it. It's not something that you try on a whim after 3 tequila shots after you've been out one night, okay? Because then that's not going to end up being a good experience. So
Okay.
I always say that when you're preparing for anal play, there's the 3 C's to follow. Consent, communication kind of is together because you're giving consent when you communicate about it. Cleanliness and care.
Yeah, consent's a big one.
Yeah.
Consent's a big one. What advice would you give someone who's interested but nervous about anal play?
Yeah, again, that is a great question because the thing is, you want to definitely, we could talk about this topic like an hour easy. This particular way of, as I say, sexually communicating, you need to go slow, use the proper products, and only explore it if it feels safe and mutually desired, to where there's zero pressure because you've discussed it, you've had the proper communication about it. And of course, you want to start small with a small, anal toy item. Basically like a small silicone plug or small vibrating. It always has to have a base on the end of it. That's super important
Yes.
because the anal sphincter. It's 2 muscles, the sphincter muscles, and I have a product that's called Alpine by Inya, Inya. That's also great to use, and you've got to have plenty of lube. I always say hydrate. Your diet's important, what you're going to eat, of course, because you want to have that area prepped and ready, But as far as products go, yes, you want to use a silicone lube or a creamy lubricant because the back door does not produce lubrication. So you've got a must have. And we even have an enhancement for the anal area to put around and a little inside the anal area to help relax that. And I will say, when you are preparing for it, missionary position, a lot of people still don't know this, but missionary position is also best for beginners because it relaxes the muscles better and gives her more control. So I even have what's called anal bumper sleeves. So what that means is, think of a penis sleeve that's, yay short.
Yes.
That he puts on, obviously creamy lubricant on him and on the sleeve, they'll slide on. So when he is entering the anal area, his penis is only, and again, you take it slow, but it's going to give him only a small amount of the penis that will enter a little at a time. And controls it better for her. So
Okay.
A lot of info there on that. Just that question alone, I know.
Hey, we may have to do another segment on this because there is a lot more information. I mean, right now I can only think of those 2 questions.
Yeah.
But give me some time and I can come up with a lot more questions for you. Because it's important that consent in all sexual play, not just anal. Always consent. Consensual is the number one thing that we want to mention on this.
I mean, I know we're not talking about it, but even bondage, even light bondage play, with crops and things. It's again communication.
you said bondage, and my mind went to this meme that I've seen. And there's a meme where the girl she's wearing a ponytail. It doesn't show anything other than just her face. And she's wearing a ponytail, and someone's pulling her ponytail back. And I think the caption on the meme is something like, when your safe word is harder.
There you go.
Like, we don't want to use words like that as our safe words. Yeah, we may have to revisit this topic, Miss Jovita, because there's a lot of information, lots of questions. And then I couldn't help but giggle when you mentioned the product, Alpine. I'm thinking Alpine Christmas tree, the shape of a plug. And then it's made by Inya, Inya. It's Inya.
Alpine by Inya. Yes. Yes.
All right. So, my crazy mind and dirty thoughts. Let's move on to the next topic. Position aids. I know we mentioned this briefly in one of the previous episodes, but comfort creates confidence.
Yes.
So position aids this is something that we don't think about. Although sometimes you may grab a pillow from your bed. If you're having lower back pain, you may grab a pillow and throw it, underneath your back or below your, under your knees. But those are pillows for your head. So Jovita, again, I do want to thank you for all of this information. I do have a few closing questions. I would love to have some more episodes with you on some of these topics more in depth. I think some of these are very important. After everything that we've discussed today, what is the biggest message you want listeners to take away?
That first of all, nothing is wrong with you. Okay. You just weren't taught properly or misinformation. So that's definitely what I wanted to say.
Where can listeners connect with you and learn more?
Yes, and definitely can visit my website. I welcome everyone to visit my website at LaDivasIntimacyBoutique.com. You can also follow me on Facebook, join my community there, LaDivas Intimacy Boutique. And on Instagram, it's its _LaDiva_Jovita, and that's JOV like Victor ITA. And then finally on TikTok, I am listed as at LaDivas Intimacy Boutique.
Jovita, like with every other podcast or every other episode we've done, you and I both want the listeners to understand and know that neither one of us are medical professionals.
Correct.
You have been in the industry for over 20 years and have learned so much from training and your own research. And I thank you for that, because without that, you wouldn't be able to enlighten us. So before we go for the night, is there anything else that you would like to say to our listeners?
Yes, thank you. And for those of you who are not familiar with my company and myself, my mission is to help women and couples navigate the real challenges of intimacy, from low desire, hormonal changes, disconnection in relationships, so that they can rebuild confidence, communication, and genuine connection again. So you can reach out to me, you can follow me, one-on-one calls, happy to schedule something. Also parties, events, couples, all gals, mixed, so it's, when I say mixed, I mean guys and gals. It's all about education and bringing the proper information to the forefront, because people still have lots of questions, or there's still something they're not sure about or clear about. And I'm here to help with that, with the proper wellness products.
Yes. I mean, if we are embarrassed to talk about things, how are we going to even ask our friends these questions? So I'm glad we have our BFF Jovita to answer all of these questions for us. Well, Jovita, thank you for another wonderful episode. And
so welcome.
Yes. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, ma'am. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that's all for tonight on Shady V After Dark. If you laughed, learned something, or started drafting a response in your head, then we did our job. Don't forget to follow the show, leave a review, and come back next time for another round of unapologetic conversations and unfiltered opinions. Until then, stay curious, stay authentic, and remember, there's always another side to the story after dark. We'll catch you in the next episode of Shady V After Dark.
The lights may fade, but the stories stay. Until next time, good night from Shady V After Dark.